somewhere in Des Moines or San Antonio, there's a young gay person who all of a sudden realizes that she or he is gay, knows that if the parents find out, they'll be tossed out of the house. The classmates would taunt the child, and the Anita Bryans and John Briggs are doing their bit on TV, and that child had several options. Staying in a closet, suicide, and then one day that child might open a paper and it says homosexual elected in San Francisco, and there are two new options. The option is to go to California, or stay in San Antonio and fight. 2 days after I was elected, I got a phone call, and the voice was quite young. It was from Altoona, Pennsylvania, and the person said, "Thanks. And you've got to elect gay people so that that young child and the thousands upon thousands like that child know that there's hope for a better world. There's hope for a better tomorrow. Without hope, not only gays, but those blacks and the Asians and the disabled, the seniors, the us's, without hope, the us's give up. I know that you cannot live on hope alone, but without it, life is not worth living. And you've got to give them hope. Thank you very much.
It's that sort of like I brought up the word before, and that sort of empowerment that, hey, we need to do something, and power in numbers.
Quite emotional, quite like wanting to reach out to all the children who might be gay and give them hope.
You know, he has like a strong background. It's a real story, and then he explains how he feels and how much it means what he does, and yeah, it's a story and the speech of a time when it was really, really difficult to be gay, and yeah, so I think that's what inspires me.
On the one hand, I feel empathetic towards those people who live in fear, you know, sad for those who feel like they might commit suicide or stay in the closet. But then it's also very uplifting. So I think he kind of goes through that, and he goes through, look at what is happening, but we can make it like this, and then it's really uplifting and happy towards the end.
As terrible as to say, I feel desensitized after a while. Like, to a lot of people, it would be completely new to them. Yeah. But for me, how long I've been out? Almost 6 years here. And then I've immersed myself so much into this gay history, gay culture, that I believe that that a lot of gay men should know. But that's my opinion. So in terms of that speech, I remember the first time hearing it, it was very, very powerful. Yeah.
The American dream, probably. I mean, especially in America, the patriotism and nationalism is based on hope, on if you fight for it, you can do anything you want. And by evoking that in these people with gay rights, he's sort of bringing gay rights to America. It is part of America, and it is part of the path to hope that I think everyone's striving for in America. It's really good for that for that country, I guess. I don't know whether it would work over here though. Maybe because although like the British kind of thing is swayed, you know, very still emotional and everything. It's more traditional. So I don't know whether just using it in a discourse of hope would necessarily be successful in Britain, but I can see why it was so successful in America.
I think just for those who are still left wondering and figuring out who they are, hope is the only thing that they can have. Personally, myself, I'm quite beyond that hope sort of deal, But yes, it is something that you need to hear over and over again at the simple basis of everything, just to know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. It does get better. Like, things will be worse. It may feel worse, but I believe it happens with good reason.
I don't know why, but for me, hope was always kind of connected with religion. I don't know why, but it's, and it's so on the kind of, not the different side, but it's something else, it's something bigger, and I don't know, it's such a simple word, and everyone has different meaning for it as well, because hope for one can, mean brighter future, and for other one it might mean, kind of like a job or like a certain set of things. I mean, I'm not religious myself, but when you're a child and your parents kind of they choose religion for you, if that makes sense. And it was when I was going to the church. It was loads of talking about hope, but that hope was, I think, quite different from the hope he's talking about. That hope was that somebody will help you from above, and this is hope in yourself.
Harvey Milk was heavily an activist. I consider myself the more proactive activist. I will say things here and there. I'll post it to social media, but in terms of going out that one extra step, that's something that actually I want to try to do. I want to try to work more with gay youth and educating them about it. But, I'm kind of new to this country. I don't 100% know how the dynamic is with the LGBT culture and how they carry about in society versus back in Canada.
I can connect with him, and I get what he's saying, and I think that I understand his message and its importance for especially that time.
It comes to two varying degrees. It comes to the people who actually care about the gay history and those who do not, and I feel that they take it for granted. For that sort of role model, you can choose who you want to look up to. I definitely look up to him with the values that I have in terms of this whole, I want to call it the gay journey that I've been through. But at the end of the day, yes, a role model like him is important for especially a lot of young gay men to stay humble and know that they would not be able to express themselves the way that they wanted to how many decades ago, and they're able to do that now because of Harvey Milk's work, among many others that are unnamed.
Yeah. I mean, for him to come out, for him to make that first move is so brave, I think, and to be elected just shows that there is that support out there, and without that, people just wouldn't know about the support that and the community.
I want to say that he was the first one to really spark things off, but there were probably people that were working there before. That was the America side of things. In Europe, they'd have something else that I don't know much of, because predominantly what's being peddled around in gay history is what has happened in America. I've heard stories of what's happened in Spain, and not really much from England, but everything that I know has come out of America.
Extremely important. Yeah, in America. I mean, I don't know how much exposure did he get in Europe, but in America he was a big person, and to achieve what he achieved and not to give up, trying to be elected 3 times and not be elected and be like on the edge of that, and well, I'm not sure how much truth the movie shows, but to sacrifice his relationship for the greater good, I think that's that shows a higher person. It's, you know, he puts himself just behind and puts other people's interest before him.